What I hear so often from Democrats privately is concerns about how this movement is moving forward, and that they feel that they can't say anything publicly. I'm thinking of a friend of mine who's watching me right now, who's a Democrat, who I've traded notes with, who says, our party's moving too far on this, and we don't know what the ramifications are.
Well, I hear you. I mean, but we can say anything publicly here tonight, basically. And so do we believe that parents should decide kids' health or not?
Right.
Sure.
So then why can't they?
Sure, of course. Well, of course they should. But
well, then you're making a law that says.
But we have a lot of laws on what 18-year-olds and 21-year-olds or under can do. They can't buy cigarettes. They can't buy beer. They can't do a lot of things that are decisions they may want to make for themselves. And when you then start talking about using certain hormone blockers or certain surgeries, even with their parents' consent, you can't go back from the age of if you do it at 16 and then at the age of 22 or 32, then
I always hear this argument. I always hear this argument that if you do it, then you're going to change your mind. I've never heard a trans person say they want to change their mind. That's absurd. That's just a
but
silly argument.
Change their minds
okay,
every
13 is different. Okay,
but the laws that we have to say you can't smoke until you're a certain age or you can't drink until you're a certain age, that's meant to protect the health of the individual.
Yeah, but don't these people think that they're protecting the health of the teenagers?
But here, physicians and psychologists are saying it is harmful to children who are experiencing, for example, gender dysphoria, among other things, to not be able to treat them appropriately. And that is the fundamental difference between the laws that you just described and the law that, for political purposes, the governor of Tennessee has just signed.
Can't people make their own decisions about how they want to live their lives if it doesn't affect other people?
Adolescents and teenagers.
Okay, if it doesn't affect other people in a negative way.
I also wonder, like, what happened to the Republican Party of smaller government, right? Like, you know, I was hearing that governor say, we're not going to tell you to vaccinate your kids, but we are going to tell you you can't get them there, this. I mean, I think it's...
no, it is. It's the inconsistency is laid bare right there. Let's also talk about the bill that he signed about drag shows. So as you know, not only is trans a hot button word, but drag shows are. And so now he has signed, I think I have the language here, it's an offense. It's now illegal for a person who engages in adult cabaret performances. And as a feature of that performance is a male or female impersonator who provides entertainment viewed by a person who is not an adult. Okay. It's again just interesting to see that the governor himself dressed as a woman in his high school photo. Here he is, dressed as a woman because lots of people
because it's fun.
And because it's fun and it's funny, and lots of people dress as a different gender to perform.
And by the way, being a drag queen is a serious art form, and they've been doing it for thousands of years. It's entertaining. People like to express themselves. It's fun to watch it, and you might actually learn something about the world and other people.
Given what they say about what drag can do to a person, turn them into a person, I just think it's comical that as an actual member of the LGBTQ plus community, I have never dressed in drag. But I'm hearing all these straight Republican men like go back into high school or just a few years ago in the case of that one state legislator and it's drag until it becomes politically palatable, expedient, even better. To do this and gin up.
But it is curious, the phenomenon of all these men dressing as women.
I don't want to speculate, but, the fact is drag is fun, right? It's funny, it's fun. Let people just have fun. Whatever happened to having fun?
Well, basically what they're saying, Mondaire, though, is that they, go and have your fun, but don't involve kids.
Have you watched any of the latest TikTok videos and things you hear on the pop music and see what the pop stars do? And my teenage daughters come on, listen to this. I'm listening to the lyrics. I'm like, okay.
That's more risky. You're risque.
But that's what I'm saying. It's way more risque.
Music is more risque.
And if they can handle that, and it's freedom of speech for artists to do that, this is another form of freedom of speech. So, and this is going to, what they use the word sexualize kids at a young age, or give me a break.
But this is old school, satanic panic. This is that the music is going to make the kids bad. The drag queens are going to make the kids. This is a whole thing. The Republican Party knows that their base likes to be afraid. And so they do crime. They do, you could be turned gay by going to a drag show. I just think that this is like the same kind of thing they've been doing for the last, since Nixon, probably since before Nixon. I think this is politics.
Your thoughts on drag shows?
Well, first, Satanic Panic is a hell of a band name. And I would have gone to see them.
Yes.
I agree.
Or
That's
was
a
that the
punk rock
Ozzy
band.
Osbourne
Yeah,
term, a tour,
I
or whatever?
want to too, yes.
Oh, look, I like Shakespeare. And so when I've seen Twelfth Night and when I've seen The Merchant of Venice, there's always at the end, oh, wait, those male judges who ruled against us are actually our wives, right? And if you go back 400 years, they were men playing women who were playing men who were playing women. It gets very confusing, gender bending, you might say.
But given all that, why do you think Republicans have such a bee in their bonnet right now about drag shows?
I think it goes back to children, which is part of the previous conversation that we had. Look, I niece and nephew who grew up in England, and they had the pantomime shows, right? Very drag heavy. And I didn't go to one, sort of glad I didn't. I missed David Hasselhoff at one, unfortunately.
But why are you glad you didn't? Because
it's not my thing, but if that's what you like, go do it. Is that appropriate for a third grade math class or English class? Maybe not. But if that's what adults want to do, go for it.
But where are they doing this? I have lots of kids. None of my kids have ever had any drag shows brought to them at their schools. Maybe there's a world with a lot of drag going on for little kids, but I haven't seen it.
Satanic Panic. That's what we're going to remember.
It's a great band name.
All right, friends, thank you very much.